Hello, welcome to the 19th episode of the Common Writer Talk Show. I am
It's
your.
called Panel Punks. Get the name of the show right.
You will talk about Common Writer soon, but yes, this is Panel Punk's 19th episode. I am your co-host, Veni Kojo, the Stockholm bounty hunter who Metsamedo!
Uh-huh. And I'm Hikaru Hiroki, the Cosmic Oni. Lover of all things comic books and tokusatsu. And yeah, I'm ready to talk about some comic books this week. I'm ready to see what you thought of your stuff and what I'm going to talk about with my stuff.
In a row, I was talking about some other related things, like the Supergirl movie. I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We have thoughts on that.
Well, we're not talking about Supergirl right now, but we are talking about someone who is
No.
red, and that is Daredevil.
Daredevil. We're talking about Daredevil number 4. Not a lot really happens in this book. I'm gonna be real. What happens is like we get a bunch of flashbacks to Matt's past that we've seen before. He's getting choked out by Omen, who is this guy who's like, I've seen the future. I know what's gonna happen. And then Owlsley shoots him in the back and saves Daredevil, chains him up. He's about ready to kill him, but then Daredevil's like, no. And there's this cool drawing of him breaking through the chains, beating up Owlsley, and then it transitions to like two scenes where they're following like the cops that are investigating the whole missing eyes murders, and this one guy is like training with his gun, and his partner's like, you need to be able to shoot good, because like what happens if you don't? You're gonna have to tell my wife like what's gonna happen, and he's like, fuck you. So then they separate. um and then there's a situation at the school where somebody's bringing in like technology, and I don't know why we're focusing on it, but this one lady's like, is there safeguards to make sure that you're not gonna like take our information, like how all apps do? So he's like, sure there is. And then like once he goes behind stage, he's like, delete all the news about Daredevil or like Matt Murdock that's around this school, so that way like we can kind of like do our shit without anybody trying to look into it. So then the cops go to investigate where Omen is, and then uh, one of the guys gets killed, and he gets his eyes taken out, and the other guy's just like scared, and that's where the issue ends. So, not too much happened. Daredevil didn't do too much in this issue. It was more like everybody else was doing stuff. So, I'll say art was really good, but the story was meh.
Do you think you're still gonna pick up Daredevil after this?
I'm going to give this at least till they figure out the Omen stuff to figure things out. And if it's not good after that, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm not reading the rest of this series. But I want to believe it'll be good. Like I just don't think that this issue was very good.
Right.
Didn't move things along too much.
I know it was good and is based in the same place that Daredevil was in. That's right. It's Jeff.
The shock.
It's Jeff is a different thing though. This is Jeff the Landshark Superstar. I just realized that I forgot my comics to
What
look
the
over
hell?
during this, so I will have
Oh
to
my
go
god.
through things in memory. This will be nice though, because
That's what I've been doing.
I won't need to like. Well, maybe the next comic I do, when you're doing Absolute Batman, I can be your B and you can start talking about it a little bit, and I'll just like grab him really quick. But basically, this issue, this series, the general plot is that Mojo kidnaps Jeff for a new show in his universe, and all the uh superheroes that he's with, like Kate Bishop and Gwenpool and the Blood Hunter, whatever the fuck her name is, um all of those people have to go get him. And there's a really funny section in the beginning where it is I can see your cursor. Get the fuck out of the get out of your cursor.
My cursor?
Yes, your cursor.
Sorry, it's on the same screen as the Discord. I'll move it.
So, um, there's a funny scene where it's at the beginning, and Mojo's like trying to like find new characters for his new show, and the joke is that like it's the same guy, Toady, but he pretends to um perish himself and then resurrect as a new character every time.
Oh,
So that way Mojo doesn't kill him. So it's the same guy,
okay.
right? And it's like, okay, Toady 1, you go. Okay, Toady 2, you go. And the very first one we see is like, introducing the Spider Squad. And it's just like a bunch of Spider-Man characters. And we're just like, oh, that's so unoriginal. Don't tell me a Venom variant's in the curtain. And then it shows all the Venom variants in the curtain. I'm like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Go, go, go.
Oh my goodness.
And it's a very funny commentary on like Spider-Verse, Venomverse stuff where it was like oversaturated and everything. I love the art. It's not by Gurahiru. Gurahiru's still doing the covers, but it's by Tokuhitaro, something like that. Really good artist as well. Yeah, it was a fun little time. They introduced a new character. This little squid guy you see on the cover. His name is Ken. He's a little squid,
Oh.
and Jeff has these powers in this. I guess this is the first time he introduced it, where he eats a gem and he gains a superpower. It's like different colored gems. And the one they introduced in this was a red one, where if he eats it, he gains like Cyclops' laser vision. I guess like Superman's laser vision? Laser vision, where it's like lasers from his eyes. And Ken can use it too. So this would be a very interesting dynamic. Maybe Ken is going to be the secret main character, and they all have to track down Jeff. Which
That'd be cool.
I would not mind. But yeah, it was a really good time. I really enjoyed it. It was very nice. But now we're gonna get into some dark shit. Now we're gonna get into some depressing shit. This is Fantastic Four First Foe Shala Ball. This was dark. This was kind of depressing, but I enjoyed it.
Oh?
Oh,
damn.
Do you want to guess who wrote this?
Garth Ennis?
Shut the fuck up. I don't think he works in comics anymore. Charles Soule, like the Carnage guy, is writing this, or wrote this. I thought it was Dan Slott, because he did the rest of these MCU comic tie-ins. But no. Also, colors by Alex Sinclair, who was usually the guy who colors Jim Lee's art. So the colors are really good in this. Basically, the story is that there is this planet that is like at war with itself, and like they're killing each other. And Shala Ball is like, oh, I'm talking to my daughter with the power cosmic in the past. No, everything will be okay. It's fine. She's like, well, why can't you come home? And she's like, sometime. She goes to this planet, and she starts destroying all of their weapons. And everyone's like, oh my god, this alien woman came down and they're gonna kill us. So all of the countries in this planet work together in like a United Nations meeting and be like, we all need to set aside our differences and kill this alien woman. We're going to use this secret weapon called Star Cores. It's basically nuclear bombs. But there is a catch to this. If one sets off in front of another one, it'll cause a chain reaction and cause the whole planet to die.
Well, fuck.
So they shoot these Star Cores at Shala Ball, and she's like, what the fuck is this? And then they shoot more, and it's like, oh no, we caused a chain reaction. The planet's going to die now. So what Shala Ball does is absorb all of the radiation into her. And everyone's like, holy shit, this is our god now. This is our savior. And then Shellball stands up and says, "Your planet has been marked for destruction. Galactus is gonna eat all of the same shits he said in the movie, which he's like,
Oh
hold your
no.
loved ones and blah blah blah." And everyone's like, "What the fuck? You came to save us. Now you're destroying us?" And he's like, "Yeah. The reason why I made peace on this planet and like got rid of all your weapons was because you could have world peace for a little bit before you die. Okay, bye." And the comic ends.
Damn.
Which I was like, Jesus, that's ballsy. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I
Holy
really enjoyed it
cow.
though. Yeah, it was crazy. It also has all the Fantastic Four MCU comics and like a Fantastic Science, Mr. Fantastic, and it's a little like funny comic thing, a little thing at the end.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's fun. But Jesus Christ, that main issue was crazy, man. It was so wild.
I can't imagine like the reaction of like figuring out like, oh, this person wasn't here to save us. They were here to like say that we were gonna die.
Yes.
That's a crazy good twist.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Speaking of twist, we're going on
Oh
to DC
God!
and talking about absolute Batman.
This fucking issue was insane.
It
Multiple
was.
reveals. I think we should start talking about them.
We want to talk about the reveals?
Yes. We don't
Like,
recap the entire
before-
thing, right? We're trying to make it short.
Yeah. I say this.
I'll
the
let
whole
you
backstory.
reveal them.
Yes. So whole backstory: Harley is like fighting with Batman, and she's trying to explain like how she feels and how they relate to one another. And she reveals a story about how her mother is actually Dr. Arkham, and that she was originally trying to take down Jack Grimm, but then she goes insane. Harley was also writing letters to her dad, and Jack Grimm appears at their house, and she's like, "Oh, I was writing letters to my dad. Why are you here?" And he's like, "Well, why do you think I'm here? I am your father." And it's just like, what?
But here's
What?
the crazy thing. During all of this, Batman and Harley are like going around like running away from like the Robins or doing some sort of like thing. And
They're
Batman
just fighting off like all the forces and everything, and then
yeah,
Robin's
and
like,
Batman is
"What the
telling
hell?"
Harley, "I don't want to hear your story. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your story. Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up." And he's like, "Fine. You don't get to hear the end of it. The entire point of why she was talking about this. So Bruce doesn't even know the twist."
Yeah, she's like, "Fine, you don't get to know that the Joker is my father. You don't get to know that like I'm more fucked up than you are because the person that like effed up your life is my dad."
Yeah.
Which is such an interesting like relationship between the two now. Like I hope they get back to working together because it sucks that Bruce is so like, "I'm not gonna need anyone's help at all," and I'm like, dude, she's literally trying to tell you that the freaking Scarecrow is playing like 4D chess with you and like pumping out misinformation. She was saying like, yeah, your mom was part of like the Court of Owls, but like he didn't tell you like the full story of how they're related and anything. And then by the end of the issue, he goes to visit his dad's grave. He's like, he has to be in here. He has to be in here. And his dad's body isn't there. Scarecrow left him a video showing that his dad is alive, and I'm like, no fucking way. Thomas Wayne is not alive. And I think that's one of the things that he's faking, in my theory. I think that he's trying to make Bruce think like a lot of certain things are actually the way they are when they're not. Because one of the taglines that Harley says is like, it's not the truth if you don't believe it's the truth, or it's like it's true if you believe it's true. It's something that her mother taught her because she's like scared of the dark, and she's like, if you believe that this hammer that I give you, this plush hammer, is a real hammer that's magic and everything, then that's what it is. So it's gonna be a crazy ride. And Scott Snyder revealed the fact that he's already got this planned out for 50 issues. and we're almost getting to the halfway point of the first arc, is what he
The
said.
first
Like the
major
first
story
big,
arc,
yeah,
or
the
more. It's more like
first,
saga.
yeah,
So in One Piece, I'm getting. Let me explain. There's a point in this.
yes,
In One Piece, there are arcs. Like the East Blue arc has like Romance Dawn, Orange
yeah,
Town, Syrup Village, but all of that is in a saga called East Blue. Same with the Alabasta saga and the Final saga, and stuff like that. These arcs are in like the first saga of Absolute Batman. So this shit's getting like crazier by the fucking second, and I'm loving every bit of it. It is so good.
yeah. He definitely is taking a lot of inspiration from like manga and being like, this is going to be like slowly building up, like this is going to be a long lasting thing, and I love that. We also got reveals of characters like Humpty Dumpty and Calendar Man in this, and then Harley Quinn's mom like has blood and shit all over her face that makes her look like the original Harley Quinn.
Yes, I thought for a while that like her mom was actually like the quote unquote real Harley, and that the Harley we're seeing now is Harley Jr. Like,
I
the next of
believe
kin.
that, yeah,
But
because we
it could
what
be
was her
both. It
mom's
could
name?
The mom could be both like Harley and Dr. Arkham as well.
Yeah,
Um
I feel that's who this person is.
it could be both cuz like, Harley and the Joker were once like a couple in like some stuff. They're not anymore, but they used to be. And I'm thinking maybe Scott's taking a bit of that, and it's like, okay, well they had a kid, and the kid is the actual Harley that you see. Which is
Yeah,
like
which I think is a good
insane. And also
twist.
like one of the first full face reveals of her mom is very Harley Quinn inspired. Like I thought that was the actual Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing like how much they're twisting the lore and the narratives of these characters, and it's like, oh shit, like the things that we think we knew are like so drastically different, and I think that's really intriguing.
It's so insane how Scott Snyder is right. And like you said, it's like a manga. And I think that is what the comics industry should take away from manga. Not we're going to hire a bunch of Peach Momoko clones and just make manga ripoffs. Don't
Yeah,
rip off the front face, rip off the structure, rip off the story elements of like slow building, put a bunch of plot in there and like character, and not just, monsters of the week shenanigans. Like really build this
I
slowly
think
but
he really
surely.
I think he really got inspired because I think his kids showed him anime, and then I
Yes.
think he learned from that and was like, "Holy shit! Like they're doing something that like modern comics
Aren't.
don't do."
Yep.
So instead of like, like you said, ripping off the art styles and stuff like that, and just saying like, "Oh, it's Batman manga," it's like
Look, it's
even
Batman, but in anime form. Like, I love
yeah,
Superman versus Meshi all the same, but, like, that's not what we should be taking away from modern, like, actual DC comics. Because those manga
yeah.
spin-offs are just sort of spin-offs.
Yeah, they also don't last as long as what this is going to last for.
They don't.
They last for like 3 to 4 issues. Like it's not a lot, but with this, I think it really does capture. This is going to be a long story, a big story, and it changes so much.
Yeah.
And I really do think that Absolute Batman is the Batman that we need in like the timeline that we're living in.
Yes.
It's really cool. So,
Yes.
anyways, we're saying like
I
10 out of 10 for
remember
that book.
I remember reading this one reply on Blue Sky. It was like, I think it was something about like the
Oh
animated
no.
series. I was looking at like Scott Snyder's Blue Sky account,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the reply I have mixed feelings on. I want to get your thoughts on it. He said something along the lines of like, I want this Batman to be the mainline Batman that DC focuses on for the next 10 years. This is a Batman for modern day, like for today.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I believe that that is true because I like Absolute Batman better than the mainline Batman. I'm going to be real. There's so much to like about him better than Bruce. And also just like the story of like this is not a rich guy. He is fighting against this world that is manipulating things, and like the rich are the most powerful, and like they look like the good guys but they're not. Like it is so much a reflection of our real world, and I think that's why that Absolute Batman is resonating with so many people. And I like that. I'm just like, man, like we really needed this book, I believe. And I think that DC needed it because it's like rebirthing people's love for comics, and like like it's bringing in so many new readers. Like Absolute Batman saved DC, I want to say,
The
in a big
Absolute
way.
series in general.
Yeah, like
Like,
Batman's a big anchor to it, but like all these other series do help as well.
Batman
Like
is
they,
certainly the biggest one, but you
mm-hmm.
have to also give roses to series like Absolute Martian Manhunter, especially
Wonder
Absolute
Woman
Wonder
too.
Woman. That is
Yes,
like, I think out of all of the Absolute books, Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite. Just because
it's
it's
a good one.
so character focused and well written. And I don't like the art as much, but I kind of let it slide for the story. Absolute
It's
Martian Manhunter is so crazy and like mind bending. Absolute Flash is very anime inspired with its art style and its like character design and stuff like that. It feels like a shonen anime a little bit. Absolute
yeah.
Superman. We don't want like evil Superman. We want edgy boy. We want sad boy. We want him to going, my planet's dead, but I'm still gonna be good. Like that's compelling, right? Instead of I'm evil Superman. I'm gonna kill all of you. Like even Absolute Green Arrow is like resonating with me more than regular Green Arrow because it's about like killing Epstein basically.
Yes, like they fully went in with it. They're like, this guy is literally Epstein that he just killed,
Literally Epstein, yes. And it's
which is
just
awesome.
it's all of these an Absolute Catwoman, which we'll get into in a second. I'll probably let you recap that when I go get my comics. Like all of these absolute issues, even like the fucking one shot they did of Absolute Evil is so like good. There has not been a single like absolute series that I didn't just like really jive. Maybe like Absolute Green Lantern a little bit, but I like the cosmic stuff. I like how
It's
Joe
very
Mully,
cool.
my favorite mainline Green Lantern, because I read Far Sector and everything, is like the main character in this, and it's just all the episodes are so good. They can't do no wrong, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I think they are fully going in with the initiative of all in on Absolute, and they're like, we can't have any bad books here. We also can't have like 20 books. We're going to have like a limited amount. I mean, Martian Manhunter's gone. Like, there's not going to be any more issues of that. It's a one and done now.
Yes,
So
it's over.
what other series are we gonna get? Because Catwoman, I think, is also a limited series. So we're
All right,
getting like
let's do a thought experiment. If you could
hmm
have one character have an absolute book, whether an ongoing or limited, what would it be?
it's hard.
I know
I'm
what I
thinking
would
about
pick.
like who I'm thinking about who hasn't been adapted yet into the absolute universe at the moment.
I know
We've
who I would
already
pick.
got Hawkman, which who he was like already a original member of the Justice League and stuff like that. Um, we haven't gotten Aquaman yet. I mean, I think it would be kind of cool to see what they do with Aquaman and how they would make him different, but I don't know how or what kind of twist they would do on him. I think that's maybe something they're hesitating on too. It's like, how do we do Aquaman but make him not how we've made him for years, where we make him edgy and stuff like that.
So you want
So
Aquaman?
I think that's the one off the top of my head where I'm like, I would love to see how they do his character if I'm thinking about like original Justice League members. But another one would be cool would be Teen Titans in this universe. Like, think about it, a teen team going against like the elite. I think that would be really neat.
That's probably what they're gonna turn the Robins into.
Maybe.
You know what I'd pick?
Who?
I want absolute Blue Beetle.
I was thinking about Blue Beetle too,
But
but I was
it
like,
has to be Jaime Reyes. It cannot be Ted Cord.
I
Though
feel
maybe
like
Ted Cord would be like a mentor or something.
it'd be
I
kind of
think it
cool if
could
they
delve
did.
into like the corruption of technology. Maybe. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Here's my absolute Blue Beetle pitch. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Kamen Rider, the original Kamen Rider series, is about a guy who gets a superpower or like a whatever, but it's originally used for evil, right? It was like an
Yes.
evil device or something. I haven't watched original Kamen Rider. He uses that power for good. What if they did the same thing there? What if Blue
It would
Beetle?
be cool.
What if like whatever's one of the main evil corporations in this universe, like was gonna make like a Blue Beetle like thing. Basically, what they did with uh like the main antagonist for this current arc of Radiant Black. I forgot his name, but he was like the manufactured superhero that's like, oh, you're gonna be like the face, you're gonna be against Batman, but we're actually gonna use you for evil purposes.
Mhm.
And then a guy just takes it and uses it for his own power. And it could be a good vigilante story. It could be about like how maybe technology corrupts. Maybe it could take a bit from mainline DC, where Jaime is like trying to be controlled by this like uh this alien entity, because that's what they did with
Mhm.
the original Jaime Reyes story, was that like the Blue Beetle was meant to be evil, like an evil alien thing, and then Jaime Reyes used it for good. Like they could take some of that. Like I
Okay.
think the twist would be that, or when we think of Blue Beetle, he's usually Ted Cord. He's usually very like rich and like smart or whatever. This Jaime Reyes could be very poor. Could be like an immigrant story even. But
That would be
he
cool.
could use his power for his like his own people, his own ideas. It could be a really powerful story if given the right hands.
I agree with that. It could be that Dead Cord is like the bad guy in it too. Like he's
That
the
could
one who
be interesting. It could be like a
he wants
mentor
the
turned evil,
scarab.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's like this big boss guy, and he takes Jaime on as like an intern or something, and Jaime like sees the disgustingness of this like company.
Maybe if this would be taken from like some Radiant Black plot lines, maybe Ted Cord was
Hmm.
supposed to be the original Blue Beetle in this universe, and then Jaime stole his power, and Ted Cord wants it back.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I
Maybe,
would love that.
maybe the Blue Beetle alien race comes down and is a fucking catalyst war or something.
Hmm.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, well, they could do that because there's the Reach. The Reach is the stuff that the scarab comes from, and it's actually where like all of the other scarabs come from. Because
Yes.
there's the green beetle, there's red beetle, like there's a ton of them. So you could have even like a Power Ranger situation where there starts to become like more beetles, and you teams up with
That
them.
just becomes Radiant Black at that point.
Sort of. Uh, I would love to see how they do a twist on that character. So that would be pretty cool.
And hey, Kyle Higgins could be a writer for it. Just saying.
That's true. Kyle Higgins could
Bring
be
some
put
of
on
that
that.
Radiant Black energy over to Absolute with a Blue Beetle run. Just saying,
Radiant
DC.
Black
Just
does
saying.
kind of, yeah, Radiant Black kind of does fit in with the Absolute universe if you think about it.
It does. Just
It's so
retrofit some of
interesting.
that, put that in Blue Beetle, mix some new stuff, and there you go.
Yeah, yeah. I think you got a good idea there going on.
Speaking of
I want to see what else they do.
but
San Diego
speaking,
Comic Con's coming up soon.
yes, there's gonna be a lot of announcements end of the month. But
Hmm.
speaking of Absolute, let's do the other side of the coin and talk about this. Look at my,
Absolute
I've been showing my variant
Catwoman.
covers. Do you like this one?
I can't see
Let me
it.
screen share this really
I was gonna
quick.
say you ain't sharing the screen with me. You ain't sharing the screen with your co-host. I can't believe
So
this. Oh shit.
this was the Catwoman one,
Eh,
and then I
eh.
showed the Batman one as well. Looks like this.
Oh, nice. Yeah, one
Yeah.
with all the mechs on it.
I'm
It's
gonna
badass.
be BRB from to get my comics to look through.
Gotcha.
You
I will recap this.
recap this really quick.
Yes. So we start off. Selena is on the ship, and she's like, okay, like I'm gonna make my way to figuring out what the hell this little orb thing even is that Holly left me. She's also trying to look into who all these like fake cat women, the calicos is what they're called, like who they are. She ends up putting this little ball on this auction site that she made. It's like an invite only, and they end up being like in the Antarctic, and that's where like a bunch of people go to try and buy like all sorts of shit. So
Meow.
sorry, I'm trying to hello. So a lot of people buy like all sorts of shit at this auction. Apparently there's like princesses, people from Metropolis. She gets there and her friend from the Calicos is there. Victoria Sage, aka a gender swapped The Question. And she's there and they talk and she's like, Holly was like, you weren't the first pick that Holly went to. She came to me and she told me like this whole plot and how we need to track down this yarn, and then she just like she turned her away, she turned Holly away.
Right.
Then all of a sudden freaking Helena Bertinelli, aka the Huntress, who is also another one of the Calicos, comes in, starts punching people. She's like, a bunch of shit is happening. We gotta go because Catwoman set up this thing so where like the ice glacier where they're in, like this mountain, it'll start melting. So all of a sudden they get to like the one room, everybody's like dead. And Helena's like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, like people start going, and I tried to save you guys. A bunch of shadows come out of nowhere. Shadows, I want to say, almost like a league of them is fighting them.
League of
So they start fighting them.
Assassins.
Exactly. Cassandra Cain pops up again. She's like, I've got the little orb now.
Because we know
And
Ra's al Ghul died.
he does exist in this universe.
He died, but yes.
So there's another character though that I'm pretty sure I know who it is. So, which is Lady Shiva. I'm pretty sure Lady Shiva is going to be the one because Cassandra Cain's involved. And Cassandra Cain is her daughter. So like, why would they not be involved together? So, anyways, Catwoman gears up, ends up fighting Cassandra Cain, and then the whole entire floor just shatters beneath them, and they go into this tunnel all together. Selena's telling a whole entire story about like how they went on an adventure together when they were kids. The Calicos did. She used to have this rule where they would leave them behind if you got caught, but Holly never followed that rule. She's like, "You're my friend. I'm gonna take you with me." She learns that lesson, takes Helena and Sage with her, and then she's like, "I'm not gonna take them because they're my friends. I need them for backup." So then they get washed out and they're in the cold and they're trying to figure out like why, like how this thing is bigger than what it is. And it shows that it's apparently some kind of, what is it? What do they say it is? It's like a legendary thing for hackers.
It's like a map that leads to this thing called a yarn, and it's basically like some sort of system that you can use to take over the world, basically.
Well, I thought it was just a rewrite. I thought they were taking like and saying that it was the rewrite thing from the end of The Dark Knight Rises, because that's what Selena says at the end. She's like, maybe I don't have to like try to steal back my life. Maybe I can just write a new one. So
Yeah.
I think that's what this is supposed to be. So we see Cassandra's like next to some person, and they have this big black coat on in red and gold, and I'm like, that's just literally Lady Shiva. So I think we're gonna be seeing Lady Shiva in the next issues. It's pretty good. It's not like the best thing ever, but I think it's also just like, this is fun. Like, this is just a fun book.
Yes. Well, remember how you said that Daredevil, nothing much happened in there? Well, nothing much happened in fucking Barbara Gordon Breakout. This issue, by the way, this variant cover is by the Dodsons. They are very cool. Very, very talented team.
Nice.
So, this issue was... here's what happens.
Yeah.
In the modern day, Barbara Gordon has like hallucinations because she keeps getting drugged and poisoned by that one person who's like working against her. Um, she keeps hallucinating a ghoul, a death ghoul coming to get her. We get flashbacks of
Yes.
like Cassandra Cain, Nightwing, Batgirl, and the Huntress. Which there's a VTuber I know
Ah.
of that is based on the Huntress, or used to be based on the Huntress.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that. I was like, that's really interesting.
Yeah, they're a mutual friend. They're all on a roof, and they're gonna like go to this like abandoned hospital, and the abandoned hospital is named the Hannah Anhala Memorial Hospital. And in the modern day,
Okay.
she's like, "Who is Hannah Anhala?" So they're like tracking down sort of painting or whatever, and she keeps thinking like, who is it? Who is this? And she thinks, oh, it was in front of me all along. I'm staring at it. And so when she's in the prison yard, someone's like, hey, you ready for round three of me beating you up? And she just falls unconscious again because she's getting drugged. And she looks at a wall and she thinks, oh yeah, again, I'm staring at this. I don't know what I'm looking at. And it's like an indent in the wall of a circle. I don't know if it's hallucinating or not. We don't know. But the death ghoul is like, oh, I know who you are, Batgirl, and throws on a fucking electric fence. Um, and she keeps asking herself, who is Hannah Anhala? Um, and in the flashback, they like the whole like building of like a bunch. They're trying to find a painting or something, like explodes or whatever. Um, and they escape from there. And then the final page is just a guy looking at a bunch of screens of unconscious Barbara Gordon, and the person who threw Barbara Gordon on the fence is like some girl with very long blonde hair, and we have no idea who she is.
Okay.
So not much happened. Eh. I want there to be more than
Interesting.
that, but it's just like, ooh, who was Hana Anhala? And everyone trying to kill me, and it's like, huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, it
Well,
was fine, but
something that was better than that was Firestorm. Firestorm, oh my gosh. This issue like pops up with like some crazy stuff already. So, it opens up with Firehawk and she's like she's talking to Professor Stein again and interrogating him and being like, why the fuck did you manipulate everything with Ronnie? And she was also like at the very beginning of this book she talks about how her and Ronnie like were always drawn to each other, and she's like, I don't know why like we liked each other and stuff like that, but it just worked. um Come to figure out that they are expanding upon the Doomsday Clock storyline with the Project Superman stuff. So they talk about Professor Magnus, they talk about the Doom Patrol, they talk about Metamorpho. Like all these people were because of the Superman project. They were just trying to recreate superhumans. And then she's like, "You manufactured like everything. Wait a minute. Did you manufacture the relationship between me and Ronnie?" And he's like, "Let me explain." Yes, I did.
ah!
And he proceeds to explain that he made her because she's like kind of made the same way that Firestorm was made. And then he's like, "I'm so sorry. Like I did
Made her
this for like this
as in
reason."
like made her entire existence, or made her into a superhero.
Into a superhero, like
Okay.
made her into Firehawk. Yeah, she's a regular person. She's not like, she actually puts it this way. She's like, "So I was supposed to be the bride to your Frankenstein," and she's like, Ronnie isn't a monster. You are." And I think it's actually like perfect because his literal last name is Stein, so it's like, yeah, yeah, this makes sense now. Like how fucked up this guy is. So he's like, "I know one way to stop him, but I don't know if it's gonna work. And she like, he takes her to this shed, and it's just like this mashed up looking like mechanism that he's made. And he's like, this is like 5 tons. I don't know how we're gonna get it there. She puts it on top of the car with him in the car, because he's like, you're not gonna be able to fly me and this thing to him. So she just puts it on top of the car, and they start driving towards I want to say Philadelphia. I think that's what they said. Um, and that's where Firestorm is. He's like still fighting a bunch of the Justice Leaguers, and they're like, "I hope to God this works." And he's like, "I don't know. I just don't know if it will." And then we cut, and we see that Firestorm has put himself in this ginormous, like building-sized gym, and like the army is surrounding it, and they're like, "He's inside there," and it's just like, "What the fuck is gonna happen?" Like, he's literally like so out of control. He's taken out so many of the Justice Leaguers. He took out Batman, took out Supergirl, he took out like
killing
Green
them.
Lantern. No, he didn't kill them. He just like incapacitated them.
Oh, okay.
So, but he's fucking powerful. So I don't know how they're gonna take him down. I really enjoy this book though. It brings out like, this is the horrors of what happens when you fuck somebody up. Like you manipulate them. Like, this ain't good. And now you're reaping the consequences.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah,
that
I
sounds,
think it's pretty fun.
That sounds
good.
horrific. And speaking of horror-related things, Clayface, Celebrity Dirt.
Clayface.
I regret not getting a physical of this because this issue is fucking good.
Tell us about it.
So, intro is like, oh, I got this new wig for this actress, and they walk in the dressing room, and we cut to the actress guts just hanging out. She's just melted.
Oh, okay.
So it goes to Gotham City. We see Clayface in Arkham Tower, and he's like, I swear I'm good. I've changed. I'm Basil Karloff. I want to return to acting. And the doctor's like, we know you're not Basil Karloff. You're Todd Russell? Because there are multiple Clayfaces. There's like 6 of them out there, or 8. There's 8 of them. So it's like, we're not Boris, but you're a Clayface, but you're not gonna get out of here. But also, I know even if you were Boris, I know you're not, because Boris is a movie star and you're here in Arkham. So he leaves.
Damn.
And then Clayface like destroys the glass cage he's in. He takes over like a security guard, and we see like the roof has just a bunch of like viscera gore on the roof. A bunch of different Clayface.
Oh.
And he takes over. It's scary. This is a very scary comic. He takes over this guy, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go out for a smoke. And the security guard's like, you don't smoke. And he's like, oh, whatever. So he leaves. And then we see the other guy, like, I know who you are. I'll shoot you. And he's like, well, I'm a Clayface, but I'm the Clayface, not a ripoff. Have a nice night. And the guy tries shooting him, but he goes in the fucking sewers. And he transforms into Boris Karloff. You know, or is that his name? I think that's a. I'm thinking
Basil
of
Karlo, you mean?
Basil Karloff, Boris Karloff. That's his inspiration.
Yes, that is the inspiration for who.
So Basil, not Boris. Boris is the Universal actor. So Basil is like, okay, I'm Clayface. I'm Basil. I'm gonna go to Hollywood. And he goes up, and he's in like New York City. It looks like, because there's a bunch of like Times Square stuff. Could be Hollywood, so I'm not sure. But he sees Basil Karloff in this new spy movie called The Hit. And it's all over the building. It's like, what the fuck is this? So he goes to the newspaper, guy's like, hey, what's up? And we see a TV commercial, or like a news broadcast, like, so, Boris Karloff, or Basil Karloff, was Clayface. And he got arrested by Batman because he was on some new drug. But now he's back. And he's like, oh yeah, drugs are serious stuff. But I'm lucky I escaped with my life. recently he's been on like a surge of movies that are his best yet, his personal renaissance. And we see this one clip of Beso being like, he's eating like a cherry or a pepper or something, and he says, "Men shouldn't be afraid of calling themselves feminists. It's necessary. Also, it was a mistake to put people on the moon." And it's like, what the fuck?
What? What?
He's like he's talking with like AA members, and he's like being a hopeful person, and like, oh, the rumors are saying he's gonna play Batman in the movie called Avenger, the Batman story.
What the fuck?
So the Clayface, the Clayface we're following, is like, why isn't Batman doing anything? And he's like, oh, well, we got plenty of lunatics in Gotham. He's not gonna focus on all of them. And he's like, oh, do I know who you are? And he's like, Beso Carlo. And he's like, oh, no, there's another guy that I know of. And then we hear on the TV, there's another news story. Gotham residents are advised to beware of a dangerous fugitive from Arkham Towers. He or she claims to be Beso Carlo. And that's the verse we're following. So
Damn.
then we cut to Los Angeles, California. We see this penthouse, like, or is maybe it's like the observatory, not sure, but it's in some fancy schmancy rich house, and they're like, oh, I'm a girl and I'm with Basil and oh, we're having fun and stuff, and then Basil's like, oh, I'm not here for fame or glory. I'm here for human connection. I thought you were too. Do you want to see something you've never seen before? And she screams.
Oh.
And it shows on the bed this like little wristband, like jewelry thing that she was like wearing just on the bed.
Okay.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is really good. It's so intriguing. It's like a mystery of like, is the Clayface we're following actually Basil, or is the guy who's pretending to be Basil, like killing the woman, is he actually Todd? It's like, what is going on? That's insane. But yeah, it was really good. The art is so good too. It's so gross and body horror and terrifying, and it's everything I could ask for in a Clayface comic.
Sounds like you enjoyed it a lot.
Yes.
It's awesome. Speaking of good art and enjoying a comic,
you enjoyed this a
Supergirl
lot.
number 15. This wraps up like everything with the Candor stuff and stuff with Luminary. This is kind of like they built up so much to this moment. So we open up and Supergirl and Luminary are fighting Black Flame, and she's just getting the shit beat out of her. And she's just like, I knew you would always team up with Kara. You're always so weak and stuff like that to Luminary, because she's just like giving her shit. Eventually, what happens is like Kara takes her out of the bottle city of Candor because they were like stuck in there. A bunch of like the super substance stuff was all over the city that Luminary had made, and it was just like kind of taking over. But they ended up like getting control of that, so she takes her out of the bottle city of Candor, and Black Flame is like, you shouldn't have taken me out of there. Now I'm even more powerful. And she's like huge and bulky and has like yellow skin. And Kara's like, yeah, thing is that you're wearing that yellow ring that already gives you powers. And now you're just literally getting sun poisoning. And she just starts beating the shit out of her. She's like, take the ring off and we can save you. She's like, you don't care about me. She's like, despite the fact, like, all the shit that we've gone through, like, I still care about you and, like, want what's best for you. And I was just like, man, this is so different from the Supergirl movie, which we'll talk about later. This is, like, actually getting Kara's character right. She's like, even if I have to cut off your hand, I will save you. So then she eventually takes out the ring, gives it to Kara. They go back to Candor, and they finally meet with, like, the science team, like, the big people that are in charge, and Luminary like confronts her parents, and she's like, "Hey, like you need to actually like listen to my opinions here. We need to change things because nobody told us about the fact that like all the young people of Kandor can't leave because they'll start shrinking again and like dying. So
Right.
we need to figure out a situation of this. And we also are not going to put Black Flame in prison. Like she needs to have like some time to redeem herself because she was like a product of like what you caused. She's like, we can take what was this destructive force that just happened and turn it into something good. So ultimately, they change things around. Thunder Girl, who was like one of the clones as well, that the Kandorians made, she becomes like her own person. She also developed like her own powers, so she's becoming her own character. Um, and they start rebuilding Kandor again. And Kara talks about how that sunstone or that sun crystal that was in um, the old remnants of her city that they found, that's like her inheritance to become like the the leader of the L family. She's like, I'm gonna have to start like leaning into my destiny because basically Clark is gone, so I need to step up and become the leader now. So what happens is that she starts to make her own team, and it's all the characters that we have seen throughout the book. She gets she gets I can't talk right now. She gets Lena Luthor. She gets Luna Lustrom, who is like this psychic that they met. She gets Night Flame, which is like this dark version of herself.
Huh?
She gets Princess Shark, and they all like team
Related to
up
King
together.
Shark?
No, she's like her own thing.
Uh,
So they all team up together to become something called the Super Force. So now Kara has her own super team,
it's like the Speed
and they're gonna.
Force, but it's super.
It's no, it's cooler. So I can't wait to see what they do with this. Hopefully, Luminary returns. It looks like she's kind of like in Kandor and is going to be the hero of Kandor for them. Um, and yeah, this is where kind of like things leave off at the moment because they're going to start doing the Kingdom of Zod stuff
I'm
in
so
the next
excited for
issue.
that. Oh, I'm so excited for that.
I hope that it's still good. Like I'm interested to see how the Super Force stuff
I'm hoping
applies to
it's as
this.
good as that Brainiac event that was
Oh,
a
the
few
House of
years ago.
Brainiac.
House of Brainiac was really fucking good.
Yeah, I want this to be just as good, like this event, because we're coming out of Reign of Superboys, but now we're going into like a big event. Because technically, this kind of ignores the Reign of the Superboy stuff. Connor is here, but he doesn't really do much. He's just kind of like, I'm here to help too, and
So
that's
to
it.
fit the quota, so Sophie can like tell her own
Yeah,
story.
they also like the front covers lied that Boy Thunder would be on it because literally it shows like him like tying up a mask on one of the front things, but it's a clone. It's one of the clones that they made. So Boy
I see.
Thunder really wasn't here.
Interesting.
So I was like, let's go, ignoring an event that's happening. But now we're gonna get like a full on tie-in these next two or three issues. So I'm excited to see what happens.
You know what's missing from Supergirl?
What's that?
Something green. Green Lantern
Something
core.
green.
This was a pretty decent issue with a very funny panel in it. So,
Oh no.
um, last time Guy Gardner went in a time loop in a black hole, and he came back, and he's like, "Hey, we gotta stop the Martian Manhunter, or not the Martian Manhunters, the Manhunters, the androids,
Mm-hmm.
from killing us." And he's trying to like talk to Jessica. He's like, "We gotta not just control these guys. You gotta live in harmony with them." And she's like arguing with him. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you now." And he like mind melds with her, and they go on a distant plane in the distance. So they're just kind of
Oh.
standing there. And it's like, fuck was that? Oh shit, there's like a billion fucking manhunters coming at us. Don't worry about that. Everyone, we gotta go into formation to protect Oa. So we see the two characters in what's called the emotional expanse. It's a plane of existence fueled by emotions, and they're gonna talk to the emotional entities. But first, the entirety of all of the lanterns in the universe are forming this like ring around Oa, but they're getting massacred by this giant like hand that all like the manhunters kind of create. And they're killing a bunch of them basically. However, there's a panel that I really want to fucking say. So, Kilowog's like, remember that anime cartoon you made me watch, Zoshan 5? There's that episode where all the Zoshans combine their powers inside this real big, and then Joe immediately cuts him off and says, Season 4, Episode 63, Kilowog, you genius. And I didn't make you watch the damn thing. You took leave and binged it in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So it is canonical that Kilowog loves Tokusatsu.
That's
and
awesome.
They all combine their powers into a Megazord. And I will show it right now, because I can picture it.
The Lantern Zord.
So they made a fucking, like, Lantern Megazord, and it looks like this. Let me... It looks like this. And it is the fucking awesome. Best shit ever.
The Core Zord.
Meanwhile, on Oa, like the one like Green Lantern girl, like the child or whatever, that's like a manhunter. She finds a way to use the planet as like a body for her, as like defense for the manhunters. But the manhunters fight back with their own giant manhunter robot. So we're gonna get a mech battle, a giant mech battle.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. But Jessica Cruz and Guy Gardner are talking to the they're talking to the emotional entities, because they're like just floating around, and they're like, we trust Guy Gardner with this, and we're gonna give you a plan for like how to do this, because we want to be in all of you to like give us safety or whatever. And before they say the plan, Jessica Cruz gets knocked out, and it's just Guy Gardner talking to them. So only Guy Gardner knows this plan now. And she sees that the Manhunters are taking over the Owen Manhunters, using the planet as a body.
Shit.
And next issue is gonna be the conclusion. Jesus Christ.
That's gonna be cool.
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
You know what I enjoyed? Bleeding Hearts.
Zombie.
Yeah. It's just Zom's comic. But this one was really good. We actually got a lot of development in this one. So we start off and we see that more of the people are running.
Did someone get eaten last issue?
It was assumed that the mother was eaten. So Rabbit is on her own.
Assumed.
The little kid that, yeah. So in this issue, it's revealed that she is alive. She escaped. So which I was like so excited when that got revealed. But let me start from the beginning. So everybody's running around. They're getting eaten by the zombies, and Poke is like, "Hey, like I need to tell you something, Mush." And he's like, "What is it?" He ends up taking him into this comic book shop, this like nerd shop, because there's comic books, there's like figurines and stuff like that, and he decides to tell him that his heart is still beating and that he kept those humans there because he didn't want to eat them. He's like, something in me has changed. Like, I'm actually starting to feel compassionate towards the humans. And he sees that his heart is beating, Mush does, and he instantly starts fighting with him. He instantly is like, I'm going to eat your brains. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to rip out your heart. Like, all these things.
Your
he, like,
bleeding
instantly
heart.
betrayed. Pretty much. So, cut back to the humans. And Mrs. Ruby, who was this like tough chick, is keeping Rabbit safe. Like, all these people wanted to use her as like a decoy, but Ruby was like no, and like locked everybody else out, and they ended up getting eaten. And they're like no. They get into this building, and this big fat zombie that we see on the cover here is about ready to eat Rabbit, and she's like, "I can't get to you. I'm sorry." Also, Miss Ruby only has one hand, I want to say.
Oh.
I don't think that was ever revealed. I don't know if I revealed that, but yeah, she just can't help her. And then all of a sudden, Rabbit's mom comes in, shoots the brains out of this zombie, saves Rabbit, and Rabbit is trying to save Ruby, and Ruby's just like, "I only have one hand. I can't climb this rope up to where you guys are," and the mom just cuts the rope, and she's like, "I'm sorry, like we have to go. Like we can't save her," and
Oh.
she says, "Thank you for saving my daughter," and she's like, "Hey, like if it was my daughter, I would have done the same thing that you just did." So Ruby ends up dying to like this huge horde of zombies coming in and just eating her, and then they run off, and Poke and Mush are fighting, and he's like, "Don't make me do this, Mush," and he's still coming after him. He takes a lighter and some fluid and sets Mush on fire, and Mush ends up dying. And he's just like, "Why? Why did this have to happen?" And Rabbit and the mom ends up finding him, and they end up taking him, and they're on the run now. Like they're away from this like zombie horde that was in this city. So the next issue is gonna see where they go. So he's finally like broken from the pack and killed his brother in arm. So
Brother in arm.
yeah, because in the beginning issue they explained that they switched arms. So Mush had one of his arms and he had one of Mush's arms. So yeah, it was a big development that he killed his brother in this one, his brother in arm. I'm excited to see what happens next. Are they gonna get caught? What's gonna happen with Poke? Like, is he gonna succumb to being a zombie, or is he gonna be like, "I'm not a zombie anymore"? Because at the end too, he started actually being like able to say Rabbit's name, and the mom was like, "What?"
So there's a cure.
I think he's just developing back into like a living person because his heart is like the only thing that's beating, even though like the rest of him is dead. So I
Huh.
don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that was a large plot. But something that's a very
Yes.
simple plot is a Sonic comic I read. This is
Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog 35th anniversary one shot. This is actually really good. It's very simple. This is the variant cover I got because it reminded me of Sonic CD. It's a very simple plot. I've never heard of this writer before. Their name is Yasmin Omar Atta. They did the story and they did the colors, and that's it. There's other people who did like the actual pencils and ink and stuff. It's very simple. It's just a basic adventure of Sonic and friends find a meteor. This meteor has life in it. Eggman takes this meteor and powers Metal Sonic in it, and he's like, "I've come up with a master plan. I'm going to rid the world of life, so that way I can take over the world afterwards." And Toad's like, "Getting rid of life means you too." And he's like, "Ah, shit, I didn't think of that." So all of the 2D Sonic characters have to come together to help Sonic. This includes the following. We have our four main characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, the obvious ones. And then we have Mighty and Ray, Bark and Bean, Fang, and Trip. I've never heard of Trip before, but I guess she's like a 2D Sonic character? Maybe something in like
Nice.
Mania or something. But this has like a ton of like 2D Sonic characters, which is really interesting. And they all come together and they all take down like this alien life form that's like taking over Metal Sonic and is draining the planet of all its water. And they come together, they destroy it, it rains, and it's like, "Oh, let's make a wish because it's raining little ice shards." And that's it. It was really simple. I really like the art. The art is so good. This definitely has a lot of like early Archie comics vibes. I've only read a bit of early Archie comics. I haven't read all of it because it gets convoluted as fuck Ken Penders basically ruined it.
Yeah.
But this has like very early, just fun, Archie comics vibed Sonic stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's really cool. Um, yeah, it's a big issue too. This is it's a simple plot, but it's like what like it's 48 pages. It's a thick boy. It's a thick book.
Thick boy.
But I really enjoyed it.
Speaking of thick boys, thick
books.
books. Operation Iron Coffin #1 from IDW.
Do I even have the cover of this? I need to get the cover of this.
Damn, I can't believe it.
It's
While
got,
you're doing that,
it's
I'll recap.
got Dracula in it.
It does. I didn't know what the plot was going to be. I just picked the book up. So I thought it was going to be them fighting against Dracula. No, Dracula is helping out the U.S. forces kill a bunch of Nazis on a train. It's awesome.
I actually did have the cover. Here you go. Yes,
So-
I do see a Nazi train.
Yes, it's freaking amazing. This book is so bloody. It's like action packed from like the brim. He just they instantly like drop his coffin onto the train and he starts just slashing up a
Oh
bunch
shit!
of
This is
like
by Kenny
Nazis.
Porter.
Yeah, it's really good.
Kenny Porter
It's
wrote
really
a lot
fun.
of stuff.
He did. This is basically, I want to say, very heavily inspired by Helsing. I want to say that. So,
Yeah.
what happens is, like, they have flashbacks to explain where Dracula came from. Like, he's got his regular backstory where he gets, like, killed off, and then they explain he's, like, in purgatory. And his being's just like, if you want to redeem yourself, you will come back. You will have all your powers, but you will also have your humanity. So he like starts to feel bad about like turning a bunch of people into vampires, and his mission is to kill all the vampires. So that's like a big thing that he's trying to do
Really?
right now. Yes, that is his mission. Throughout the book, he's just like cutting people's heads out. Like he doesn't even need like weapons. He's usually just using his hand and like doing a swiping motion, and it just like tears their head off. Like there's so many moments where it's just like visceral violence. We see these two people that are like the head of this train that are trying to get all the stuff to Hitler, and it's like if we can figure out how to like use these chemical weapons, we can turn all these people into vampires, like literal cities and everything. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta prevent that because like that's my mission. Like I have to stop all the vampires. So he eventually like gets up to the start of the front of the train, and he starts fighting this like religious guy. And he's like, all these other people had no chance of fighting me. Like, what makes you think that you're gonna do any better? This guy starts using like weapons that start actually hurting Dracula. He's like, what? How are you able to develop these? And he's like, well, the two people that are like the head of this, they're vampires too. And he's like, yeah, but I killed like all the vampires beforehand. So what the hell? How did they exist? And he's like, oh, they weren't made from your bite. They were made from your loins. These two are your kids.
What?
Yeah. So he has to fight
Alucard.
two. Yeah, he has to fight two of his kids to stop like the Nazis, and I'm like, whoa.
One of them
what a
has to be
twist.
named Alucard.
The what?
One of them has to be named Alucard, right?
Oh no, he's just called Dracula. They're
No,
called
no,
like
he's kids.
Russian. Yeah, no, they're called like Russian names, like hair
Oh.
something and like some other thing. It's like a boy and a girl, so he's fighting them in this series. But I think it was a very strong opening. Like, there's just so much action. There's a lot of gore. So if you're like, wow, like this person goes through a lot, that's what's happening in the series. They're not afraid to cover up the action, which I thought was cool. It was a pretty big story. So it's 40 pages of just a lot of cool action and story of how Dracula got here. So I give it a 9 out of 10. I had fun with it. Especially for a book that I didn't expect to read. I was just like, this kind of looks cool. I'll read it.
Nice. We know what was really fucking cool and really good is
What's that?
Rascal Randy.
God, this book was so good. We
This
both
is
read this.
one of 3 prequel miniseries that is basically going to be our holdover until season 2, presumably, of Acoustic Corpses. I know it's going to be about Rascal Randy. There's another one about Fox Girl, and then there's another
Yeah,
one
Fox Mass
about,
Killer.
and then there's another one about Lone Gunman.
Yes.
So, this starts with this girl who is a Navy brat. She loves listening to and watching true horror or true crime stuff. We see like a circus, and like this kid is basically killed very gruesomely by this like ringleader like mustache
It's one of the
guy.
characters from Exquisite Corpses.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was like the first guy that got killed. It's Leopold Armstrong.
But
Which is like, oh, what a cameo.
but she's like going to work or whatever, and like her dad really wants her to enlist in the Navy. She has like an ass fab, and she's like, I'm good, bye. So she sees this like kid being bullied by all these other like
Well, just bullies. Being bullied by bullies.
no, they're being bullied by all these hooligans basically. And we see like, oh, I'm gonna, there's like this girl, it was like this person that Max like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and then they run away. And I think that's the girl in with the bloody knife.
Yeah, that's Lily. She disguises herself as like this killer thing to scare them.
So this kid has like low blood sugar for some reason. So they take them
Yeah.
to a bar, and they're like, okay, funnel soda in him. And he wakes up, and then one of the guys like listening to band's like, can you keep it the fuck down? You're being very rude for the band. And it's like, okay.
That part was so funny.
So they're talking and everything, and then we find out that this kid is also working at the rink, and that his aunt is the bartender, which is why they went to the bar in the first place. So they talk a little bit, and they're explaining their backstory and everything. But we see the bullies are like hanging out in like a playground. They're like, okay, we're beating up this kid. Now we're gonna go home or whatever. And this bully's like on a swing, right? And then we see Rascal Randy show up and kill him.
And gruesomely too. Like this kid is like wrapped up in the swings. His body is like twisted
Yeah,
around.
he
the
like
top of the
twisted
swings.
the swing. Basically.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was like, holy shit.
So we cut to Lily at like the glasses kid's place. They're watching true crime, and they're like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. Yeah, no, she used the bathroom. This is kind of a gruesome movie. Yeah, it's over there. And they're like, oh, I banged my knee. I'm trying to like, and she turns on the light, and she gets scared by Rascal Randy. But it's not the Rascal Randy that killed the kid. It's this like giant room of like memorabilia, and he's like, oh yeah, so my grandparent was the founder of all of this, and my mom really wanted to revitalize him, my dad or something, but it didn't work out. And they're like, oh shit, how's your mom? And he's like, oh yeah, she died. Oh, how did she die? Oh, she got sick. It's like, oh, okay.
How did your mom die? Is what he asked.
And she's like, oh no, he got murdered. And he's like, oh, okay. But he's like, I'm gonna catch the guy who killed my mother. And then we see this like crime scene. It's the bully who got killed, and like there's an officer who fucking throws up, and they're like, don't contaminate the fucking crime scene. And we see the last page. It's at a motel called Cowboy Dan's, and there's this kid, or there's some guy who's watched like a TV of like Rascal Randy. And the guy says, gee whiz, Darla, who's a rabbit gotta kill to get a little service around here? It's like, holy shit.
We're actually gonna see him out of the costume.
Such a good, strong opening, too. But I'm wondering, is this guy going to kill the kids? Because this is a prequel comic.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this actually going to be a sequel? Now, here we go. Rascal Randy lives at the end of this comic, right? It
Yes.
wouldn't make sense for this to be about, oh, Rascal Randy's hunting down these kids, and then your odds that the kids kill the guy. It would be very weird if it was just, oh no, just kills all the kids and just gets away with it, right? It's a basic horror trope. So what I'm thinking is maybe after this the Exquisite Corpse's actual events, the tournament or whatever, he gets away. Maybe he's like, okay, well, I almost died. I might as well go back to my hometown or whatever and do some killing over there. So this could be a sequel, but also explains his whole deal as well. Because what I'm thinking is the other two series, Fox Master Killer is going to be about her origins. Lone Gunman's going to be about probably his operation that got everyone killed, or his war crimes or whatever. So I think Rascal Randy is a sequel that explains his backstory, basically.
That would be a perfect thing to do. Is like don't like fully set it in the past, but like also tell like a present story.
Yes.
So
or a future story.
Yes, I'm interested to like figure out his identity, exactly why he chose Rascal Randy. If Rascal Randy is like connected to him, or if he's just like, oh, this was like my favorite character, so I became him, so I could like take out my vengeance on people.
I'm kind of thinking he's related to the kid, like the kid with the glasses, because his family was like the people who made Rascal Randy. I'm thinking it has something to do with that, I feel.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. I can't wait to see what else comes from this series and like what they're going to expand on.
You gotta say, Rascal Randy is such a monster. But you know what else is a monster? Ben 10!
Ben 10 number 3. This one, I can kind of wrap it up pretty like easily. So basically, what happens is that Gwen figures out that Ben is the alien, and then there's a monster that's chasing them around. There's like this cyborg crab thing that's also like attacking the army. So they go to fight it. He turns into Diamond Head and starts beating him up. Uncle Max or Grandpa Max is sneaking around being like, what the frick? Why is the army here? So he fights him. He turns out of his alien form. He's like, ah, shit, I'm gonna die. He's like, do it, kill me. And then Grandpa Max is like, I'm gonna use this radio frequency to mess up this robot. So he distracts the robot like in enough time for the watch to like reset again, which I guess the watch is different in this. It resets pretty fast because in the show it would be like it needs a 10-minute cool charge. In this it doesn't. And I don't know if he like sets it to do anything. I think it just transforms them into things sometimes. So then he turns into forearms, beats the crap out of this thing, destroys it, and then they make their way out of like the army area. And the army's like, well, they gave us a little treat that we can use to manufacture into weapons. So they're gonna take like this crab thing and turn it into some kind of weapons to go after Ben 10. And then we see Viliax again. He's like, they're going to doom themselves, basically saying like, they're gonna use those weapons and they're gonna like kind of screw themselves over by doing that. And then the next issue is going to have to do with the clowns from the TV show, and I'm guessing we're gonna see Ghost Freak, and Ghost Freak is gonna be terrifying. So that's where the issue ended. It was like very not a like I would say like it's too deep of anything that happened, but we got to see like more stuff happening. This kind of like conclude this small little arc of Ben, using the watch for the first time, and now we're going like to the next spot in the trip. Grandpa Max is like, I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. We have the rest of the summer to figure things out. Not explaining how he used like any of his technology or anything. The kids don't even question it. They're like, how did you do that? They don't even say anything. They're just like, I accept it. So, wait. Also, this comic is pretty freaking bloody. I want to say.
Huh.
Like, people are being like torn apart and having their heads ripped off, and I'm like, dang, this is definitely not like the kid-oriented Ben 10. But at the same time, it has Cartoon Network's logo on it. I did notice that, which I'm like, oh shit! Like, if some
They
kid
can
like
get a
picked
little
this up,
more in comics than with like animated
it's
series.
true. It's true. But I thought that was interesting. I was like, dang.
So do you think
They're
you're
like
gonna
cursing.
continue the series after this issue?
I probably will. I'll see how far they go with it, or see how
I've
far
heard a
like
lot
I'm
of people
interested.
dropped it after this issue because it's not very interesting.
I'd say yeah, this issue alone isn't interesting, but I'm interested to see how they adapt some of the other stuff. Like I'll give it like 7 issues, and if nothing else happens after the 7 issues, I'm like, okay, I'm done. So
Yeah, I
I think
quit.
that'll
I
be
quit
my
after the
rule.
first issue because there was so many fucking ads in the goddamn physical.
This one didn't have it. It like had like more pages of like comic in it.
You read a digital version.
Yeah, I did. I read a digital version, but like it was like I was surprised how long the comic was. I was like, damn, this is like 30 something pages.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good though. I'd say not the best comic I read, but not the worst comic I read. Worst comic was probably Daredevil with just being like nothing happens.
So as far as we can tell, nothing really interesting or noteworthy happened this week for comic news. The biggest news is that
Yeah.
just a bunch of SDCC stuff is coming. That's all we know.
Yes.
However,
We know that San
there
Diego
was
Comic-Con's
one
gonna happen.
announcement that I need to talk about. Judge Dredd is coming back. And he's a mouse.
The bikers.
The biker mouse. Biker mice from Mars.
Mars.
So, I want to tell
That's
you.
a crazy crossover.
The writer is Dan Waters, the current writer of Nightwing.
Oh boy.
I want to read you this solicit. Across the frayed cordons of space-time, the greed-fueled oligarchs Limburger and Carbuncle have identified a strange new world to plunder. But they never anticipated that Throttle, Vinny, and Moto, the extraterrestrial anti-heroes known as the Biker Mice from Mars, were dare to foil their latest cross-dimensional conquest, a smog-clogged metropolis known as Mega City 1. Now the Martian brothers and their bikes are stranded between the blocks in Mega City's endless chaotic sprawl, alongside 400 million citizens who want them dead, and the one man can deliver them justice at any cost, the unforgiving Judge Dredd. The law has no place for vermin on Mega City 1's streets, but when the biker mice's otherworldly abilities draw the gaze of the inhuman entities called Judge Death, man and mouse alike will be caught in the crosshairs in the first ever Biker Mice from Mars crossover outside of the Nestleverse. And I'm like, it's got mice people. I don't know anything about Judge Dredd, but or
I don't know about
sorry,
either of these series.
not Judge Dredd. I know stuff about Judge Dredd. I don't know about Biker Mice from Mars. I know stuff about Judge Dredd. I know the comics is very bloody and like interesting. I know the Stallone movie and the newer movie. I like the Stallone movie a little better. It's like if we had a Stallone movie with like the same actors and everything, but with like not exactly the tone, but like the plot of like the new Judge Dredd movie, it would be the perfect Judge Dredd
Carl
movie.
Urban one.
Like Stallone was an excellent Judge Dredd, but it was a little bit more goofy than like the comics. If I see this on my shelves at my local comic shop, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It releases in December.
Oh dang.
So it's a long time, but hey,
It looks like
I'll
a
read
goofy crossover.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love when they just embrace the goofiness. Like Judge Dredd, the serious character, is going to be crossing over with the biker mice from Mars. Like, come on. That's awesome.
Yes. But you know what wasn't awesome? The Supergirl movie.
I know.
We're actually going to talk about it now because I saw it in theaters. Now, thankfully,
We both saw it
I
in
did not
theaters.
pay for a ticket. I used my A-list. So I did not have to
Nice.
spend any money on the ticket itself. I just spent money on eating popcorn and a drink. So let's talk about this movie. I
Yeah.
did not like this movie.
I didn't like it either.
This
I
was
have
the
strong
first
feelings.
objective misfire from DCU or DC Studios, because as much as the Peacemaker season 2 ending was sort of a nothing burger and like weirdly teased like something that we're not going to see till next year, which is
Yeah.
potentially Man of Tomorrow, I don't even know if Man of Tomorrow is going to focus on salvation. We don't know. But the series in general was really good. The season 2 was really
Yeah.
good. So
Well,
like
it's like a lot of character building too
there
in
was
it.
some
Like,
good characters and really good story. Like the other world, like the Nazi world, was really fun to like go around in and see. Like, oh shit, this is the evil world. And like the conversation with his dad, who's like, yeah, this world's kind of shit, but I'm doing my best to make some good in this world. And like, there was stuff to enjoy from Peacemaker season 2. There was basically nothing
Supergirl.
to enjoy from
Ugh.
Supergirl. I think the only thing that I liked was the casting. I think that
Yeah.
who was the main actor or actress for Supergirl?
I think her name's Millie something. Let me look real quick.
So I really enjoyed Millie Alcock. Millie Alcock
Yes.
as Supergirl was pretty good. I think the best part is Lobo. Jason Momoa as Lobo was so good, but he's in the movie for like less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He did not
He
have
needed to be like, my opinion is he should have been like somebody that they recruited instead of just running into, because they just run into him at that bar, and then it's like, you're not gonna like get him over to your side. He's just gonna be here.
He was just kind of there. I also
Yeah.
didn't like how they made Krem from just some guy to like the most horrible, despicable guy. He wants to have child wives for his like all male race. He's like this
I mean,
despicable
he was
bastard.
bad in the comic too.
He
was
was
like,
just
really
a
bad 'cause
guy.
He killed so many people.
But he was just a guy in the comic. He's
I don't like
this...
the fact that they made him as strong as Supergirl. Like, he shouldn't have been as strong as what he was. Like, I was telling you, at the end, when she arrives, she's literally in the Supergirl suit, and she's supposed to have her awesome moment, and they shoot her with kryptonite immediately. And I'm like, what? Like, this ruins the moment of her having, like, this awesome comeback scene to beat him. Like, it's almost every moment where she gets a chance to do something good, they kind of, like, shoot her down. It's like, this is supposed to be the scene where she like
have a lot of time to be Supergirl. It was
no,
either she was
like,
in
I
the
told
red
you
sun,
this.
or she's in space and she briefly does her yellow sun stuff, or she gets kryptonite poisoning, or she gets in a green sun. At least the Superman movie, which I love James Gunn's Superman movie.
Yes, we
That-
both love it.
That movie, it felt earned for why Superman isn't Superman for a little bit of it, because he's like stuck in this new like pocket dimension or pocket universe, and he's got kryptonite from Element Man or whatever, Metamorpho.
Metamorpho. Yeah.
But when he becomes Superman, he is Superman. Supergirl has
Superman and
barely
shit.
any time to shine. But
Well, that, and like, she's struggling with like people that are normal. Like, when she's fighting like one of the soldiers of Krem in like this tank, and I'm like, why are you having so much trouble fighting this guy? You literally have like the most powerful superpowers. Like, this shouldn't be that tough of a fight
Yeah.
if this guy's like a normal guy. Like, if she was up against Lobo, I would be like, okay, yeah, you're having trouble because Lobo's a tough motherfucker.
Lobo
like,
killed his entire planet.
yeah, like, these are just regular guys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't explain like how these people are tougher or like anything. She had the kryptonite arrow out of her too, so she was like back to normal. So I don't.
But
I don't
think
get it.
the worst thing about this movie was the plot. I was
Yeah.
so bored with this movie. It goes along at a snail's pace. Let's compare this to Superman again. Superman, oh my god, something was happening every scene. Character stuff, crazy character reveals, plot,
Action.
just it was so well
That is something we need
paced.
to talk about. We need to talk about how the actions were obscured a lot of the time in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's that scene where she's fighting the people on the bus, and like they just decide to have the aliens like in front of her while she's teleporting and fighting. I'm like, don't do that. Like, make this a clear fighting scene. And then when she goes to that bar with Lobo, they decide to focus on Ruthie's face instead of her fighting the people at the bar. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, show the action. Like, I want to see her beating these people up. Like, why?
In Superman, something was happening every scene. There was a lot of action and story. In Supergirl, was a lot of meandering on this planet, meandering on a bus, meandering on this planet, meandering on a ship, meandering in prison. It was a lot of just sitting there and talking and doing nothing, and there was very little action.
It's frustrating.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the ending. So I will say before we get into the ending, I am gonna be a contrarian with this. I never liked the original source material. I never liked Tom King's Supergirl Woman Tomorrow. Not saying Tom King's a bad writer. I love his Mr. Miracle book. That is the reason I got into New Gods. His Mr. Miracle book was excellent. I own that book. I love that book. It was great. And I want to read Strange Journey because it's basically the same thing. I did not like Tom King's Supergirl. I didn't like how Supergirl was treated as this, like, super wise mentor, holier than thou. No, she faked the crypto getting poisoned. It just felt meh. But the ending was, like, poignant, at least, with, like, Ruthie really wanted to kill Krem, but she couldn't. Supergirl was like, okay, give me the sword, I'll do it. And Ruthie was like, wait, no, don't. She figured it out. She's like, revenge is going to taint me. It's going to taint us both. And that was Supergirl's lesson to her. It's like, revenge is bad. It will taint your soul. Your entire life will be about revenge.
As well, like, there's people that interpret that Ruthie kills Krem at the end, and I'm like, how? She just literally, like, knocks him out. Like, that is part of the book. Like, even Tom King came out and
even Tom King in a podcast was like, he's knocked out. Like, I didn't think it was ambiguous because he was like, he was like holding his head to going like, it hurts.
Yeah, exactly. And like, a lot of people, I saw somebody on TikTok say that. I'm like, what? Like, it's clear that she just knocks him out. Like, if you read the book, like, if you actually read the book.
Here's the thing: the people who made the movie also read the book and they misinterpreted the ending as well.
Yes, because the biggest thing is that.
So let's get into the scene. I want to recap.
Yes,
the scene is the Krem is like knocked out, and Ruthie's like about to kill this guy, and Supergirl's like, "Don't do it! Don't fucking do it!" And she's like, "All right, I won't." She puts the sword down and she walks away, and Supergirl's like, "Okay, Ruthie, here's what I want you to do. Walk away from this, because if you walk back, you will change your mind. Walk away from the scene, just go into the sun." So he's like, okay. She walks away. And we see Lobo driving his motorcycle, watching all of this. Ruthie takes the sword and stabs Krem, saying, "This was for my dog," and then stabs him in the head or neck and goes, "And that was for the little girl." Killing him. And Lobo's like, and Lobo is smoking his cigar and goes, "Oh yeah, that's how you do it."
It just
leaves
so much of Supergirl at that point. Like, it's like, so
it undermines the entire point of the movie. She's like, "No, revenge is gonna taint your soul, so let's let it taint mine instead." And they never acknowledge it again.
Well, I told you too, it's like Supergirl has never killed anybody in the movie. She just beats them up. But then this is like the one time where she does it, and it's like, this is out of character, and like, it doesn't make sense.
It's out of character,
like, why did
but
we
also,
do this?
if they really wanted Supergirl to be this like broken character, I think they could have made it work if they followed through with it in the ending. The ending is just, "Oh yeah, I'm in Metropolis now." Superman's like, "Hey, I've been trying to reach you. You wanna team up?" And he's like, "Yeah." Which, by the way, I loved seeing more David Cornsweet in this. I thought it was just gonna be like a cameo, just like, "Oh, Superman sucks." No, He's in this movie for more than just a scene on the computer. We see him interacting with Supergirl in the past. Like, she was in Argo or whatever. Argo,
Argo.
the Kryptonite city. Which, by the way, those scenes are really good. I found out, this is gonna blow your mind.
Oh yeah.
Kara's dad, his actor, played the elf kid from the Santa Claus movies.
What? Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit. So, that's real. Like, that good acting. I barely recognized him. But, like, those scenes were so heartbreaking and so good.
They were. I have to agree. Like, and my favorite part was like when they were trying to do the message of like, you don't have to be nice about what you're doing. Like, you don't have to be like.
You don't have to be nice to be good.
Yeah, but you have to be good. You know,
but
as long as you're doing good for others.
But
the very
even
ending,
killing
like, destroys
Krem
that.
is not good.
Yeah, it destroy it, and in the I want to say, in the Supergirl suit too. It's like, it taints something when you see that.
Yeah.
Like, for me, especially being a Supergirl fan and reading the current comic and being like, Kara is so different, and like, and in the book too, like, in the book she's actually helping people. Like, I feel like in the movie she didn't do anything. Like, if we had like a montage of them doing all the stuff that they did in the book where they were like stopping to help people, like, I would have loved that. But it's like you said to me a long time ago with like Spider Noir, this is a Surf Dracula situation where she doesn't become Supergirl till the end. And even then, though, it's like she doesn't really become the character. She betrays everything that she says.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just felt so bad at that scene. I was like, wow, they really fumbled the bag. Like, how did they do this? Like, it's just really bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was not a great movie. I thought it was not a good movie.
I thought people were just being like, because I had heard people's opinions being like, man, I did not like this, and I was like, maybe it's just like people just being jerks and stuff, because, you know, it's a woman oriented like movie. No, this movie's just, it doesn't do good. It's not even like a good superhero movie because it focuses on like the sci-fi shit way too much. It's like, okay, like, I get it, we're in a sci-fi movie. Why is Seth Rogen here, like, taking up the scene? Like, I get it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, the fucking Seth Rogen is a little
yeah,
dude? What the fuck?
I didn't expect to see him in the movie or hear him, and I was just like, oh. And then he's like eating up the scene as that alien. I'm like, stop! I get it. There's aliens here. Like, even in the book, they don't really like focus on it that much. It's just like they're there, and I feel like that scene like would have been better if they interpreted like if they adapted it to be her fighting the dragon better than those stupid like dumb looking people that looked like they were rotting. That's what they looked like. They were just rotting aliens.
Yeah.
But so many choices that were like, why did we do this? Why did you make it not good? You could have done something better with this. Like, and I went in with a mindset of like, this is not going to be the Superman movie. But now it's hard not to compare it to it when it's like, you had something so good and now we have something so bad. So I don't know how to feel about the rest of the projects coming from this DC stuff. Like, hopefully Lanterns is good, because Lanterns is the next thing that comes out.
Lanterns and Clayface, I believe, are both this year.
Yes. I'm more excited about Clayface than Lanterns. I'm going to be real.
Right. I'm excited for both. I think, like, the DCU is not washed. It's not dead.
But yes, this is just, like, the first time where it's like, this doesn't work for me.
It's definitely the first misfire of this. But, I don't know. I think something to wash our mouths and wash our hands with this is Kamen Rider! We're going to talk about Kamen Rider a little bit. So, sort of technically fan of Punks adjacent. It's not. They have manga. It's fuck off.
We talked about the Kamen Rider movie in one of the first episodes.
Yeah,
the
and I was like,
Agito
I
20th
don't give a
anniversary
shit
movie.
about Kamen Rider. What the fuck is this?
And now
And then I watched like, oh, I get it. So let me tell
drugged
you
through
my
it.
history with Kamen Rider. Years ago, I was not Chinese, but I was watching Kamen Rider W.
What does the Chinese comment have to do with anything?
Yakuza, or not Yakuza, Shenmue. Every nuts.
Oh,
It's this.
no.
It's the guy going, years ago, I was Chinese.
I was like so lost when you said that.
So,
because I was like, what?
so I tried watching Kamen Rider W, and I couldn't get into it. Like, it just felt kind of, I didn't really like the tone, the pacing, the humor. It just felt kind of, it felt kind of childish. I tried watching it, ironically, twice. Because it's
Dang.
Kamen Rider Double twice. Ha 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 ha. But I was like, I don't know if Kamen Rider is for me, basically. A couple months ago, Hikaru was like, okay, you gotta watch this latest season. I think you'd like it. It's the first season that's actually trying to market towards the international market. It's called Kamen Rider Zets. And I'm like,
Zets.
okay. So we're watching, like, okay, secret agent stuff. It's, you know, fun little adventures. And, you know, the action's really good. And then I kept watching it. And it just got fucking insane. The reveals, oh my god! The characters, the powers, Nox. Nox is the best.
Nox is awesome.
But it's like, holy shit. Okay, I can get into this. And now I'm caught up with Commander Zets. So basically the plot is, there's this guy named Baku. Baku is just a normal guy. He's a regular unemployed guy living with his sister. And he dreams of him being a secret agent going on adventures from this organization named Code. But he's like, oh, it's all a dream. It's fiction, whatever. As it turns out, no. All that shit is real. And he's a sleeper agent. So what he does is he has a little secret base that actually has a manifestation of it in reality hidden in his closet. He teams up with this sentient motorcycle named Zero, who gives him his missions in English. And they go on adventures, and they, you know, stop these creatures called nightmares, and it's like a monster of the week thing. Commander does this thing where they have little arcs that are separated into 2 episodes per arc. So it's like, you know, oh, this monster shows up for 2 episodes, or this monster shows up for 2 episodes. Then we get Nox coming in. He's like the anti-hero. He's like, you're working for Code, and Code is bad. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck Code is! And then we get the reveal of, oh, wait, these nightmares are actually a real big deal. And that Nox's boss is someone named The Lady, who is a former secret agent. She's Agent 3. And then, or Agent 2.
She's Agent 2. She's Agent 2.
Yeah, Agent 2. But then, Zero isn't a motorcycle. He's a dude who's Baku's dad. But we don't know that until later. And Agent 3 is like the actual sort of like head organizer guy. And Code is a real place that has multiple installations all over the world. And that Nox was actually Agent 6 or Agent 4. He's Agent 4.
He's Agent 4.
And that there's these like couple of quirky little detective guys who are part of like a paranormal bureau.
Fujimi and Asaka, some of the best parts of the show.
Fujimi was friends with this guy named Odaka?
Yes, Odaka.
Who turned out to be Nox. Because he like left the paranormal place to like fight the nightmares himself, and he thinks he's, you know, righteous and justified, which he sort of is. But Kureha's girlfriend, sort of? It's not really clear.
Nausicaa and Kureha used to know each other.
It's unclear whether they're, like, quote-unquote roommates, like, you know, more than friends, like in a relationship, or they're just best friends.
They were roommates.
It's unclear, but basically they were close. And her friend is a secret agent with this other guy who's Agent 5. And then we get this huge scene of like, okay, Zetz gets this big power called the Catastrom. He becomes this big buff guy. He looks like Buzzwole from fucking Pokemon. And he's like beating the shit out of everyone. And he kills Nox. Nox kills 5 in 6. What?
I have to ask you, do you want to reveal people this on the podcast?
Yes.
Or do we... Okay. So we need to have spoilers.
I don't care. I'm talking about this. You should watch that.
I know. I'm just saying we need to preface like spoilers for things, just in case people want to go and watch this themselves.
So he does all this crazy shit, right? And he goes to Code, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop all this." And like he had this friend named Nem, who's like an idol that is like born of nightmares that went missing, and she comes back. But she's awake because Baku destroyed the dream realm or something. And she's actually the daughter of the lady. And so they all go to Code and all of them die. And Baku is eliminated by 3. So our main character is dead. But as we see when he falls down, there is a red moon in the sky. The entire first half of this series was a dream. And I was like, no! The first half meant nothing.
That was my favorite part.
But,
like, me and Danny were both like, we can't wait to see her reaction to this.
But then we find out some things happened. Baku has all of his equipment. He has all of his powers that he got from previous missions. Because he's powered with this Gachapon system called Capsims. You can put it on, you flick it, and it goes, impact, plasma, and it goes, Metsamero, and he transforms. And it's like, Naita, Inazuma, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, okay, first things first, Zero, you're fucking out of here. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, okay, all right, whatever. And he locks the door, right? And he's like, I'm a rogue agent now. I'm going against Code because they're going to fucking kill me. Then we find out that Code is going to kill Baku because he shared the entire dream to everyone. They have a clip show basically every season. And that was a clip show. It's like, hey, so recap. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Nox, I know you're here. I know you're watching this. Here's what happened to you. You died. Nox like, oh, what the fuck? And we see 5 and 6 come in. And like, we're gonna kill you. And there's a whole fight, right? We find out Zero is actually wanting to get close with Baku because he's his dad. And we see this scene of like, him on, like, a young Baku on a motorcycle. It's the Zero Rider. And we see his, like, dad, quote-unquote, near him. And we see Zero, like, looking at him, being like, oh, it's my kid. And when he's, meeting Baku for the first time IRL, like, in, like, a graveyard or something, he's like, how much you've grown. You've grown so well.
How much you've grown.
And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? And we find out, no, he's his dad, which I called it early on. I was like, I think that Zero is going to be Baku's dad, who, like, trained him or, like, breeded the perfect super soldier or whatever. Because we also know that his sister is Agent 17. Agent 17 is, like, not a common writer, because all the other agents are common writers.
1 through 7 or 0 through 7, as far as we know, are common writers.
But we see that, like, okay, we see that Zero is like his actual dad, and like his family was like fake, because she went on a mission to protect him, because like
she didn't know that she wasn't his sister until Zero told her.
Yeah, but it was basically all a front, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get introduced to this crazy guy named Sieg. Sieg is a mass murderer with a 1,000-year prison sentence who went around killing people in their dreams. Basically a Akechi from Persona 5. Where it's like, blame, you're dead. Blame, you're dead. I'm gonna kill your egos and you're gonna die in the real world. Mental shutdowns, basically. And so he's basically like this mass murderer who gets like this new power, this new driver called Breakum Dawn. Breakum Dawn is a sword. Remember when I showed this early on? That's his weapon, and I bought it. It is a very cool weapon. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna like do a bunch of crazy stuff, and like Zetz and him fight, and he kills Sieg. But then Sieg comes back because he was fused with a nightmare. So he's like, oh, your thoughts are bringing me back. Ooh. But then his Capsum revolts against him and goes, actually, I'm one of the big bads. Goodbye.
Well, that's because Baku separated him with his form order.
Yes. So then we reveal that there's a bunch of big old strong Power Ranger villain monster nightmares are the actual big bads. We see Catastrom, which was like his nightmare when Baku was a baby. We have Phantom, who fused with the lady. We have the baby nightmare, who was part of Nem, who's a big important character. She's like the source of all nightmares or something, or like some nightmares that come back.
She's the one who connects everybody because she's in everybody's dreams.
Yes. And we see Punish as well. So it's Punish, Catastrom, Baby Nightmare, and Phantom. So
the baby nightmare is called Oblivion.
Yeah, so all of them are what's called the Gore nightmares. And they're the big bads, like in this council and like the dream world. And it's like, holy shit. They also stop Code and like defeat everyone. But like, it's getting to a point where it's like, what the fuck is gonna happen? However, the movie is coming out soon. So there is a Kamen Rider Zet's movie called Farewell Mission. I presume it takes place after the series ends. But the interesting thing is, we see every single character in this like final shot all alive. Multiple people in this shot died. Like 3, 0, 5, and 6. A bunch of dead guys. And we see that 0 has a driver. We're going to see 0 become a Kamen Rider. We're finally going to get the father-son...
Too.
Yes. Well, Lady already had one.
She's getting a Lord driver. Like, she's not using the one on her hand.
We're going to get, like, a big reveal of 0's Kamen Rider form. And we're going to finally get the father-son bonding time that I've been wanting, because he also dies in a very recent episode. But holy shit. And I'm like, okay, I finished this series. Now what fucking other series, or caught up to it, what other series do I want to watch? I want to watch something that's a little more accessible, that's something on,
You asked me, like, do I need to watch, like, anything else? I'm like, you can just
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
this
so...
one. You don't
so
need to watch like, any movies or anything.
Well, I wanted to be like, I want to watch series on my own, because we wrapped up this, Zets, because we're caught up. And I was looking at their YouTube, and I was like, oh, it's like, Agito, Kuga, Ryuki, Original Kamen Rider, and you were like, if you want something that makes you hit in the feels, you watch Kuga.
Kuga's
so
awesome.
I started watching Kuga, and it is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Where are you at right now, by the way?
I'm on episode 8.
Okay, you haven't gotten to the episode that's going to make you cry.
No.
One of the episodes, I should say.
So, this series, it's a very, like, basic plot about, like, these people uncover a lost tomb, and there's a bunch of guys called the Grogi, and they're like a hidden race of men that like kill people.
Like this ancient civilization.
They're basically
that was, like,
the Pillar Men
monsters.
from JoJo.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
and they're
explanation.
like, we're gonna eat everyone. And they find this ancient belt that gets attached to Yosuke, who's the main character's
Yusuke Godai.
Yusuke Godai. So Yusuke is like, I'm gonna use this belt and I'm gonna transform into Kuga. And we find out this belt is like attached to him.
It's inside of him. It's not
Yeah.
like other belts where it's like you can attach it. It's like it's literally inside of his body and he summons it.
He's
Like,
mutating into
hmm
not human anymore. But he's like, I don't
I
give a shit.
love
I want to protect people.
I love the fact that the show touches on that, like by bringing in this like doctor character, and he's like, "Yeah, this is like weird, and you might not become human." And then Yusuke's just like, "Don't worry about it, I got this," and he just like tells everybody like, "Yeah, don't worry about it, I got this," and he does. He's
He
got
is a
that
very
shit
hopeful
on.
character. There's also a detective named Ichigo, who's really cool. Um,
Yeah, Ichijo.
Ichijo,
Ichijo is great. And his
yes.
boyfriend.
But I've been really enjoying this. Best series that I'm
It's a great
watching on my own.
series.
I want to watch a comedy series with Hikaru, because we wrapped up Zets, or at least caught up.
Yes,
And
we're all
he,
caught up
and
with it.
he
It's
was like,
not done
I
yet.
want to introduce you to a bunch of different Kamen Riders via pictures. I'm going to tell you a bunch of like stuff about them, and I want to know
Hmm
your thoughts. And there's one design that stuck out to me among the rest of them, and that was Kamen Rider Forze.
The
So
Rocket
this series
Boy.
is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's basically about this school. It's like an American style Japanese school where there's like a football team and like cliques and everything. And we think that there's like this main character. He's just a normal looking guy. He's like walking around with this girl, and there's like, oh, I have a letter for you. And he's like, oh, I'll read it. I'll take a look. And then this weird delinquent guy shows up, and he's in because the guy like throws the letter away. And he's like, "Wait, no, that was for you!" And he goes in the water and grabs it. Like, what the fuck? This was a confession letter for you. And he's like, "Oh, sorry." Goes to find out that this guy's the main character. What's his name?
Gentaro Kisaragi. One of the best characters
Gentaro.
in all of Kamen Rider. I love him
He
so much. He's
is
my favorite character.
he's basically Josuke. And he's like, I'm transferring to school, and I'm gonna make friends with everyone. And he does do that. Where he's like,
He's slowly doing it
he's
through the
slowly
series.
becoming friends with everyone.
Because you
So,
were surprised about who he became friends with in the previous episode that we watched.
so I only watched episode 1 to 4, but I'll watch more later. So basically, it's about space. It's about the
The
moon.
final frontier.
There's like a bunch of astronauts who find some secret power, and like there's this big bad that gets away from it. There are these monsters look like mages called Zodiarts.
They're called the Zodiarts.
They have these little clicker devices called switches. Basically, you can use it to transform yourself into a monster. And they create this, they find on the moon this like belt. They call it the Forze belt. And they use their own set of switches, and they sort of like link them together in 4 pieces. Because like this era of
Forze.
Kamen Rider was like 2 with W, 3 with
With O's.
4 with 4 Forze, 5 with
Wizard, because he's got it
Wizard,
literally has the hand on it.
and then
And then
6.
6 technically for Gaim, because when he opens up the lock, it makes a 6, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like stretching it.
Yeah. But basically, it was like a motif, basically. So they
Yeah.
have this like teleportation device in this janitor closet that takes them to a moon base. They have suits. They fly on the moon. And so they fight like this one guy who's jealous of the football captain for being the football captain. They fight him, and they destroy his power, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then like, okay, let's go make other friends with people. The last 2 episodes was like, oh, the popular girls. Oh, I'm the queen of the school, and I'm gonna be a queen next year too. And what's his name again? The main character, Josuke guy, Gotaro. Hikaru?
I got a knock on my door about something.
Oh, do you need to go or something?
No, it was just my sibling was asking me about something, so I just like paused it for a moment. I muted myself and then answered them.
No. Okay. What was the main character's name again?
Gentaro.
So Getaro is like, well, I'm gonna make a bet with you. You're not gonna be queen. I'm gonna have someone else be queen. And he's like, okay, sure, but if you lose, you transfer out of school. He's like, I'll do it. So he tries to get this one chick to become the queen, but she backs out immediately because she's scared of the main girl. And so what I presume to be is the female love interest is like, oh, actually, I'll be queen. And so she does this really embarrassing dance
Yuki.
about like, I'm a satellite in space and blah, blah, blah. And it was such a big session, like, we love this and get the fuck out of here. And he's like, oh, I can't handle this, I'm leaving. Comes to find out, there is this chameleon monster that's like tracking them down and wants to kill this girl and become the new queen. It's one of what they call the sidekicks. And we see this one scene of them in like this pool area, which I come to find out, I'm gonna say it right now, was a set that they use in JAVs. If you know what a JAV is, you know. If you don't know, don't look it up. It was a lot of JAVs, which is very funny. Or JVAs? I think it's JAVs.
Japanese adult videos.
Yes. So, they are like, oh, there's a bunch of presents that they gave me. The CD, bleh. This letter, bleh. And so one of the girls recording it to get back at the main girl, and the chameleon just up and kicks her ass. And so she's hospitalized. And I keep forgetting the main guy's name.
Gentaro.
So Gentaro is like, okay, I'm gonna help you become queen now. And she's like, what the fuck? Okay. So she misses like her, because like there's a competition where it's like you have to do a talent show, then you have to do a speech. And so she misses her speech. But then the psychics like come up and like, oh, I guess I will be the new queen and blah blah blah. But then we see the main girl, the popular girl, is like, she's on like a crutch. She's like, I'm gonna be queen. You know why I destroyed all those things? Because they're doing it for their self-satisfaction and becoming a fan of something. And I want people to love me because they love themselves. And like she comes up on stage, he's like, I'm gonna be queen, actually. And so the girl's like, oh no, you fucking are. Transforms into a chameleon, fucking like fights Gentaro on like the roof and everything. Which, by the way, they reuse the very first scene from Kamen Rider W of the first fight scene of like one of the monsters when the guy's like Cyclo Joka transforms or whatever. They fight in that exact, it's like a sports arena or something. They fight in that exact area. And so he uses like his powers. He has like a drill, he has like a little pogo stick, and he fights her and he wins. And Gentaro makes the main popular girl become queen. And they're like, well, we had a deal. And I'm gonna let you off the hook, Gentaro. But there's something you gotta do. She joins the team! She's a main character now! And they form a club called the Kamen Rider Club. Because this is for the 30th anniversary of Kamen Rider, right? So they form this club where it's like, oh yeah, we know about Kamen Riders. Kamen Riders like these urban legends of like these guys fighting monsters and becoming a superhero. You are now a Kamen Rider. So we're gonna become the Kamen Rider Club. And it's 4 people now. It's Gentaro, it's the main love interest, it's the guy, I don't remember the guy's name, it's the queen. And they're all together, and they're all happy. Forza is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Kamen Rider is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Amazing.
Like, Jesus Christ, I thought that when I saw W wasn't for me, I was like, oh, is that going to be the Kamen Rider for me? But no, this series is so fucking good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is great. But
well,
speaking of
when we talk
great
about what's gonna
things, let's talk about what's coming out next week.
I can cover it this time.
What do you want to cover?
So,
Marvel, DC, Image.
why don't you do Marvel and I'll do the DC stuff, and then we'll talk about it.
For
Or is there
Marvel's
anything coming out?
for Marvel's end, we got some stuff. I'm gonna talk about just 3 things I'm reading.
Okay.
We have Captain America #13, which is following up on Captain America and Doom trying to like liberate Hell. Avengers Armageddon, where we may see David Colton be like the superhero guy fighting the Hulk. And Fantastic Four #14, which features a backup story celebrating Disability Pride Month, apparently. Huh.
Cool.
I mean, the other backup story in, what was like Amazing Spider? It was Amazing Spider-Man. That backup story was kind of shit. I'm hoping this one is good this time. There's other stuff as well. There's like Punisher versus Spider-Man, which I'm not reading. There's Inglorious X-Force, which you are reading.
Yes.
The Spider-Verse, which I'm not reading. Apparently, Norman Osborn becomes Carnage or something. And then we have What If Jessica Jones was bitten by the spider, and Alien King Killer, which I'm surprised you're not reading.
Yeah, no, I only read the crossover books.
You cover DC.
Okay, so for DC, we're getting another issue of Absolute Green Arrow.
Hell
It's gonna
yeah.
be awesome. Roy Harper's in it, so we're gonna figure out, what's up with him. Like, what's his involvement? We're getting Absolute Flash #17. Has to do with Grodd. We got Nightwing #140. Looks like he's going into some dive bar to fight people.
I need to catch up on Nightwing.
Are you reading Batman Superman World's Finest?
I'm not. I kind of feel like I should, because I remember reading
No,
reading like the beginning of it, which is really good, and there was another bit of it which was like during the yesterday's finest or something, like some like time travel story from JLU, which is really good too.
We got Teen Titan or New Titans, which I'm catching up with this. I actually got a bunch of issues, so I'm gonna catch up to what's going on now, because I'm actually interested in like, well, he's going to be. He hasn't gotten into it yet. When's the next issue when he's gonna come in?
38,
next
I
issue.
think.
Literally next issue, because the backup has like a small introduction to him.
Yes, but 30 is when he actually joins the team.
Yes. So, sorry, I need to refresh the page to where it's back to DC again, because I was looking at what issue he was coming in. We have Lobo #5. We have Wonder Woman #35, which, by the way, I'm only saying this because Stephanie Williams is back on the book. So, she's doing another interlude thing. Yeah, she's doing an issue.
Oh shit,
So,
I may buy this.
Yeah. So, if we don't want Tom King on the book, go buy this. We have Batwoman #5. I need to catch back up with this. We have Superman Unlimited. We're going to have the Super Sons fighting each other.
That's
so,
gonna be great.
well, technically it's going to be Damian versus Ultra Boy. So, Dark Knights of Steel #2. I still need to read the first one, but I eventually want to read this. End of Life #6. We're going to see what happens to him, where he's going to go. And that's everything on DC's side.
So
I don't think there's anything on
Image has some stuff.
Interested.
Does
it?
Assorted
Yes.
Crisis Events
That's right.
returns. I have been waiting for this series to come back. I want to read all of it before we cover this, because oh my god, I cannot wait. This got delayed for so fucking long, but we're getting it. We also have some other really interesting series. There's a Bad Rock series, which is finally gets a fucking series. I may pick it up, because it is written by Rob Liefeld, but it is about Bad Rock, and it's not drawn by him.
Interesting.
It's drawn by Seth Demus. He was like the only good part of Youngblood, by the way. Was Bad Rock. So I may pick it up. We also have, of course, like some crossover stuff. We have Walking Dead and stuff like that. But we also have on IDW.
That's right. I just looked at it.
Sonic X Godzilla.
Oh, that's gonna be an interesting crossover to see.
I
know Boom Studios has
about that.
Yeah. Boom Studios also has Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #2. I need to read the first issue, and I'll read this one. I'll keep up with the Power Rangers side of stuff.
Boom Studios. It has Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2. Yeah, it's like a reboot or something.
It's actually after, like, it takes place and it takes the Rangers and puts them into like this is them as adults going on adventures.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
That's
But
great.
I think that's all the books, right?
That is all the books. So we will see
All
you
right.
next week where we talk about some more Absolute.
Let's go.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.